Going. What's up, everybody? Shawn
What
here
up?
with another Live to Roll Live. We're doing a little cannabis pain management show today. So Bobby's off the air, so we're gonna like hang out and party a little bit while he's gone.
Bobby's not here keeping us in check, so we're gonna, have some fun on the
Wild out.
pod.
That's
Wilding
right.
out. Yeah.
All right, so we'll do some quick intros and then we'll just get into it. You guys know me. I'm Shawn, C5, C6 quad from a snowboarding accident 17 and a half years ago. Tom, go.
What's up, everybody? You probably all know me too. If anybody new out there is watching, welcome. I'm Tom Con.
What's up, everybody? I think I'm live again. Waiting on Tom and Nikki and Ashley to hop back on. I think that was my internet that crashed, so sorry about that, everyone. Usually we are okay and stable on internet, but not today. Hoping Tom. Oh, there we go. We got Tom back here. Let me click. What's up, Tom? All right. Sorry, I think my internet crashed. All right, there we go.
That's okay. Are we still live?
We are back live. Yeah, I got back live. It stopped for a minute, but we are back live. Sorry, guys. That was my. I think that was my internet.
Minor
So,
technical difficulties.
yeah, at least
Little.
it started before we really got started, or it happened before we got started.
Yeah, well, I think we're just about to introduce Nikki and Ashley. Ladies, you want to take it?
Yes, I'm Ashley.
I'm
C4.
Nikki. Oh,
Oh, I'm a C4 quad.
I'm a T6 paraplegic from a car accident back in 2019 from Chicago. And
Reppin'
yeah,
Chi-Town. Heck yeah.
yep.
Is it getting cold and rainy there yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I
It's
got
a
a
little
spark.
chilly today, actually. We're
Hmm.
actually doing the live from our back porch.
Okay.
Nice.
Uh, awesome. Well, thanks for weathering the cold weather so you can hang out and smoke with us. It's nice and
Yep.
sunny here in California. I don't mean to rub it in, but
Rub it in, Tom.
but
Yeah.
let's get into it. We're talking about cannabis today, one of
Yes,
Literal's
sir.
favorite topics who we like to talk about. A lot of us are regular cannabis users for medicinal and, at least on my part, some recreational purposes as well. Gotta, be real on the pod. But let's get into it a little bit. Shawn, can you start out by telling us about your cannabis history experience? I'm putting you on the spot, broski.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So for me personally, I did start a little bit recreationally before my injury. I but not until actually I was like 19, 20. I never did it when I was younger. I just didn't get into it. But anyways, after my injury, I kind of was like not sure if I should or not, if it was going to be good for me. And then I did actually one day try to smoke because I was on so many pain meds, spasm medications, all this stuff when I was coming out of rehab. So I was like, you know what? Let's just. My friends came by, wanted to smoke a little bit, and like just taking like that first time I took those couple of hits after my injury, like the ease it gave my body was incredible. Like it just like this tension just left my body. It like the pain, everything just was better. So from that point on, I kind of realized like, okay, you know what, this might actually be something I need to start doing again, and probably is going to be a good like medical thing for me. And I was able to stop pretty much taking any other painkillers, no opiates or anything like that. I don't take any other spasm medications anymore. I used to have to take stuff for my appetite as well. Don't have to do that anymore because it also helps with that. So it's pretty much helped me with
FYI,
everything.
Sean is the skinniest quad I
I,
know, dude.
I
Like, oh my god, I don't know. I mean, uh, I guess Ashley probably has you beat, right? Or Nikki, you're
Asher's
sorry, my bad.
one of
Um,
we're all pretty skinny, but
but dude, I've been losing a lot of weight. I was 145 pounds when they
I'm
weighed
gonna.
me the other day. I haven't been that
That's,
since like freshman in high school. Crazy. Um, but
sorry.
how about you, Nikki and Ashley? Can you guys tell us about how you got into marijuana and how it's benefited you, or how you used it after your injury?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like similar to Shawn. When I was in the hospital, like I had broke my sternum, I broke my rib, so I'm still to this day in so much pain, which I know we're talking about that too today. But I had already like experience with cannabis before my accident. Like I knew I enjoyed it, but it was like weird. I guess when I got injured, I didn't even think like, oh, you could start smoking again. I just didn't even do anything. And then um, I wanted to be off the opioids, like all the pain pills, because when I was like in therapy, I was legit falling asleep while doing therapy, and like that's like a high that I just did not enjoy. I mean, it helped with the pain, but it just wasn't like it wasn't functional. And then I started smoking again. because I don't know why. I guess it was like, oh, you can't smoke anymore because you're paralyzed. I don't know where that came from, but started smoking again. I remember because we live. We had to come back home after accident. I was like hiding it from my parents, even though I was like, what? How old were we when we got injured? 25. I'm hiding it from my parents, but then I just got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna tell them that this like helps me. Like, I'm done hiding it. Like, this is what I do. It's nice to do it. So I kind of just started being more open about it, and then now it's just become like part of like my schedule. I do take a lot of breaks here and there, but I enjoy it. Yeah, because I have baby lungs, but I really do enjoy doing it. I definitely have baby lungs after my accident, so I have to be careful with that too. But yeah, that's my little cannabis story.
And then for me, I didn't start really using it until after my accident, after I got injured. Because honestly, before I dabbled with it like a little, like barely.
It's like we only smoked together like once or twice.
Yeah, really, like before the accident. And for me, I just never felt the effects. Like, I don't get why people waste their time smoking because like I don't feel shit. But after my injury, says that one day. After my injury, I actually like started feeling like it helped me eat, sleep.
Oh yes,
Helps my pain,
your spasms.
my
for you.
spasms. Yes, because I spasm like crazy.
Like before we leave the house, I make sure Ashley smokes
Yeah,
because
we
like
make
her
sure to schedule
spasms.
some time for
Right.
Ashley.
Because her spasms are so bad, I'm like, please smoke, so like we don't keep stopping, so you can situate your legs.
No, that's legit.
Like,
Like
and I
for
can see a
yeah.
difference.
And I use it
Uh,
daily. I don't take breaks like my sister.
But you also have your medical.
Yeah, and I have my medical card. Shout out Midwest Days, someone I met through the weed community, and he helped me like figure out how to get it without going through my doctor, who was against me getting it. So yeah.
really, that's interesting.
Um, well, I'm glad you're able to
You want
find
to
a
go pill?
resource to get medical, approval. Like, not only does it save money, just there is a stigma surrounding marijuana, the purchasing of it, the consumption of it, and yeah, especially if you're in a state where it can be questionably legal. You definitely want to make sure you have the medical recommendation from a doctor. And if your physician doesn't want to do it, you can find another doctor who's usually more open minded about the medicinal properties of cannabis, and will, do it for you. Out here in California, though, we're lucky. It's legal. We don't really
Yeah.
have to mess around with that too much. But just as a heads up to an individual with a disability that still may qualify for the medical recommendation, it can save you money at dispensaries. I think
Yeah.
they usually take the tax off, which can be like 30% extra. So if you're on a budget, it can be super super worth it to go get that. I remember when I first got my rec, like when I first started smoking down here in LA, it was not legal yet. It was medically legal, but you
Yeah.
needed to get it. Um, and I remember like rolling in the shop for the first time. Oh man, that was crazy. What a wild couple of years it's been since then. How does time fly, Shawn? Um,
Yeah,
but
man.
I'm gonna talk about my experience with cannabis a little bit. I grew up around it. My parents have been smoking weed my whole life, so I didn't really feel much of a stigma surrounding it. Like my parents are very successful business people and really great parents who raised like three awesome kids that have all been successful in their own way, and like happy and healthy living to this day. So I don't know, like they smoked weed most days of my life growing up, and they when I was young, like they didn't throw it in our faces or anything, but they didn't completely hide it from us either when we became teenagers and could understand what they're doing. Just treated it like alcohol or anything. It was like an adult thing to do. They did it after work. Chill out, relax at the end of the day, and like my dad deals with a ton of chronic pain, and it was how he managed it without having to rely on opioids or anything else. And even so, I didn't start smoking until I was 21. I was hanging out with a buddy one day, and he had to lick his pipe. He's like, "Hey man, you want to smoke a bowl?" I was like, "I don't know, bro." And uh, he was like, "Come on, give it a try," and I did, and it was cool. It was like definitely recreational. I wasn't even thinking about how it would make my body feel. But that was like one of the immediate things I did notice is like it really chilled my body out. Like the spasms went away. Like um, I felt really relaxed and really comfortable, and um, it felt good. It was cool. Um, and I started exploring it a little bit, mostly just like with my friends at the time. We'd smoke if we hung out together, whatever. But then I got my own little setup, like my own little flower vape, and started using cannabis at night mostly. I was in school at the time and just super busy. And if I'm like stony baloney, I can't study very well. It doesn't need to be like me in academics. Um, so
I'm gonna use that
Nice.
term, Tom.
huh?
Stony baloney. I like that.
But yeah, that's it was cool from my dad. Um, but I did find it was hugely beneficial at night, in the evening time, and on the weekends, during the day, if I was having a hard day, if I was dealing with pain, chronic pain is something that I've been facing for the first time in my life in the last couple of years, and it's been huge relief and source of, I feel like reliable relief that I can rely on. That's not pharmaceutical. That's not opioid based. That's not, I feel like a little bit scary on the human body. And that's been my experience with it. I try to moderate my consumption at times as well, because I think moderation is key for anything, whatever it is in your life. Um, you can start to use too much of it. So I do try to be mindful of that. But I'm a very big fan of cannabis and the use of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think we all are pretty big advocates and fans of its use.
How do you guys like to smoke? What's your
Smoking a
go-to?
joint right now.
Okay,
Oh yeah, we're
Nikki
smoking
and
a joint
Ashley
right
are already
now.
sparked up, ready to
Ashley likes
go.
the bong.
Yeah, Ashley likes the bong. I see all her Instagram
There's
posts.
been yeah, like see, I like to dab. My dab rig's pretty dirty right now, but I have it right here. I found that's like I guess when you were talking about like your chronic pain, Tom. I found dabbing for me really helps with my pain. The flower for me, I guess it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do the same as the dabbing. So that's why I try to be more intentional with my smoking because I do have baby lungs. Like choosing when, how, like where, like oh this is the time because I know that I'll start like coughing a lot or like. But dabbing helps with my pain a lot, and it also like one hit and I'm good compared to flower, which for baby lungs. I
So,
can't hit the bong
what's
because
up?
then like I don't know.
I just want to say what's up in the chat real quick to Arrowhead and Peter and Base of Spades. What's up, everybody? Peter says next month he's going full rebel and trying to pop for his pain and spasms. Well, we support you, man, and definitely would help. If you need any advice or ideas on keeping on the low, dude. I think it's really a shame that the VA doesn't support medical use. Um, that's really crazy. How about you, Shawn? How do you like to smoke? I didn't mean to get sidetracked there.
No, it's cool. I most of the time do flower, and I use a bong for the most part. But I actually in the evening, like before bed, I actually do. I haven't. I just recently refound my e-nail, so I can do some dabs on my own, and I have been doing a few dabs. But I usually will put my wax on top of my flower, so I do like the combo. I do like dabs on top of the flower, and that like before bed is like really because like I think for pain the dabs do help like a lot, like you were saying, Nikki. But I think for spasms, flour helps a little bit more. Like flour, I feel like releases more, like relaxes my body more. Um, so I don't know. I like the combo personally. So like especially before bed, that combo is really good. It relaxes my body enough, gets me sleepy enough, dulls my pain and everything, and just like that's my bedtime ritual. My wax flower combo, and I usually
Like
do
what
a few of them. What's that?
What time of the day do you all usually smoke? Like, what do you do it intentionally? Like, you try to smoke like at certain times or like before certain things?
It depends. Pretty. I don't know. The evening is like when I'll usually smoke like more heavily. Like if it's after 5, I'm just chilling. Put on some Netflix. Get some dinner going. Like just done for the evening. Um, before that, if I'm having a really like spazzy day, like it's been like giving me a really hard time, and while I was dealing with this bladder stone and some of these issues the last like 2 months, I was smoking earlier in the day just to provide my body some relief. I mean, like I was taking baclofen, but literally like I was getting so dysreflexic and spazzy, like it was scaring me. And I did smoke to kind of help tamp down some of those more hardcore symptoms. Um, and but if I do, I'll try to stick to like lighter strains, more sativa like kind of stuff that will not put me in the couch like an indica. Um, and staying away from like the bong for sure. I don't really use my bong too often. Only if I'm. That's more kind of like my recreational thing. If I'm hanging with the homies, we'll break out the bong and smoke. Usually, if I do smoke, I'll use like a pen, like one of the vape pens. This is like a PAX era vape pen. It's just got like a little cartridge in it. Um, and I did want to clarify for everybody. We keep talking about like dabs and flower and this different stuff. If anybody isn't familiar with what we're talking about, so flower is like the plant, like weed, like the typical, the green stuff that
What else?
you chop off the tree. You chop off the stalk and you grind it up
Yep.
and smoke it exactly. And then dabs are you smoke wax. And wax is again another slang term, but what it is marijuana, but it's just the tetrahydrochlorides and the cannabidiols. So the little crystals, the actual stuff that gets you high, they use usually it's like pressurized CO2 to wash that off the plant. You can do it with water and ice to like bubble bags and stuff like that to like make hash or different forms of the stuff. But basically, it's a more
Can't.
refined form of marijuana. I do not dab. Dabs, I leave that for Scooby and the gang because like that stuff messes me up, dude. Like I get really really high with dabs, and I think it's because my tolerance is a little bit lower. Um, but the reason that it's important to know about the difference is kind of what Nikki said earlier. Is sometimes different forms of this stuff can have different effects and better help affect certain things. Wax is definitely a stronger form of marijuana. If you're dealing with more serious chronic pain, it can definitely be better um, and more useful to you. I used to just do a flower vape, so it would never even burn the flower. Like it's like even lighter than like smoking. It would just heat it up to the point where the THC and the cannabidiols would evaporate, and I would inhale the vapor. And it was just like very light, mild high, and really did the trick for a long time. So my tolerance got a little bit higher. I still vaporize sometimes, but I'll usually stick to smoking or using and this is technically dabbing. It's a wax pen. It is an oil pen.
Yeah.
So it is kind of the refined form of that weed, the stronger form. It's just in these pens, it's usually like a lot smaller hit. That being said, there are super strong forms of them out there. If you hit a stizzy, it's similar to taking a dab. This one in particular, the Pax Era, super, super on the lower end. You got to take a couple hits to get you high. And I just dropped on the floor. Don't mind. I'll pick that up in a minute. Um, now, I like that during the day, especially. It can provide some of the effects of the reduced spasticity and the pain management without getting me super high. So I can be functional, I can be productive, and if I need it, I can, still feel okay using it a little bit to provide me some of that relief. Um, how about you guys? I know,
And
Shawn,
shout,
you did
thanks
doubles.
Ashley already. You guys don't have to do super chats while you're on the show. But thank
Shout
you.
out to Ashley for the super chat. You're super dope.
So how do you do it?
For me, I find the most enjoyment in the flower, honestly.
No, what time of day?
Oh, what time of day? My bad. Time of day, honestly, for me, I need to smoke like I would say right in the morning because like just gets my day started right. Like if I do it first when I wake up, because then I start to eat. Like I'm actually get like an appetite, so I actually eat breakfast, and then it just gets my day going right. And then I like to poop. I like to poop.
She said,
No, this is what I'm gonna say. It's TMI, but I like to smoke the cannabis before I do my bowel program because I do feel like it relaxes my body to help poop. That's why I said.
Hey, that's
Hey,
And
it's a real thing though, and a lot of people don't realize like when you do that kind of stuff, your body can spasm a lot and go kind of crazy, and can be super beneficial.
uh,
before the
How
poop
about
and before the sleep.
how about you, Shawn? What's your use throughout the day like?
so nowadays I typically don't start right away in the morning. I do my my stretching and stuff, which kind of keeps my spasms down at least for the first few hours of the day. So I typically won't smoke until like right before lunch. I'll take a couple hits before lunch usually, just to help build my appetite, relax me a little bit before lunch. And then I typically don't smoke again until like before dinner. So like after the show or whatever, which I think maybe we'll do it during the show just because I think we're going to have a little session here and I'll show people how I use the bong. But typically, yeah, I'll do another bowl before dinner, and that's actually the first at that point before like my before dinner bowl. I'll usually throw a little piece of wax on that one, not as big as the ones I do before bed, but a little piece just to spice up the bowl a little bit. uh, oh nice, look at that. Tom's
like
got the
Tom's
Tom's
getting
got the
sleepy
skills
now.
with that reacher, man. Like I don't know how he uses that reacher. It looks so good. It's incredible for quad skills.
I learned from a real pro, but we got to make a video on it for sure, um, and show the grabber skills. Peter, wanted to touch on your comment for a minute. I'm really glad Shawn just put that up there. You guys got any advice for somebody just starting out
Just start light, I would say. Just
or slow?
take very low, very just a baby hit. Like don't take one hit and then wait a while.
I would also recommend possibly exploring with just some like pure CBD stuff. Um, the especially with VA and things like that. I know you probably want to keep it on the down low, but if it's purely CBD and there's no psychoactive, THC effect, you can still get a lot of the benefits, the pain management, the reduced inflammation, the reduced muscle spasms, and you know, just from the CBD. Something to consider. But I'd say the best thing to do is do some research. Start out super low dose. If you're adverse to smoking, there's really great low dose edibles usually
Yeah,
available.
yeah, there
Um,
are.
like 5-10 milligram THC. Like that's where you want to start. Like 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams. Like that's like a little baby dose, but that's all you want because that's all you need starting out for sure. What
Yeah,
about you, Nikki and Ashley? Any advice for Peter?
I'd say like I agree with you. I just like start really slow. I always tell people, especially, and I always too. I know this is like, I think eating before, like try to eat before when you do it for the first time, and then also know that if you're doing it for the first time and you get too high, you can drink milk. They say that helps. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know if it
So
Uh,
helps or not either. Maybe.
yeah,
I'd
I've
say
heard people.
a
We've had
strong
friends
cup
who
of
said it
coffee will
helps.
help out more, but
That.
uh,
Great.
And drink water. Lube up your throat
Yes, lube up your throat.
if you're gonna like be smoking it.
Like, and then yeah, Ashley always like breathe before she smokes
Oh
too.
yes, do some breathing exercises, some breathing techniques.
Because if you're a first-time smoker in general, you're gonna feel the smoker effects because
So
cannabis does that with your lungs.
I'm gonna
That's the
grab
downfall of being a
yeah, I was gonna
smoker.
say
You should
smoking.
just
It is smoking. So like it's not the healthiest thing for you. You're
yes,
inhaling smoke. So one of
yeah.
the things I do to strengthen my lungs is I use one of those spirometers, which I wish I had it out here, but it's those breathing things they gave you in the hospital. And it's honestly like practicing a bong hit. You breathe as slow and inhale as slow and steady as you can, and then you exhale. So it's like this constant like breathing
It's
in, like it's perfect. It strengthens your lungs and it helps you get bigger hits anyways. So spirometer.
great. Especially with our paraquad lungs, sometimes we need to keep those muscles intact, especially if we're smokers. I have one in my room that I sometimes
Well,
Nice,
let's
my
yeah.
baby
let's
lung.
talk about that a little bit, like the importance of respiratory health and function. As individuals with spinal cord injuries were already compromised, meaning like I don't respirate as the same capacity as most people because of my quadriplegia. So what do you do uh, to take care of your lungs? Breathing exercises, like they were just talking about. There are healthier ways to smoke. I just grabbed this. It's the brand is it's called a PAX, PAX. Really cool company. Um, and it's a flower vaporizer. What you do is you grind up the weed, and there's a little chamber right here in the back that pops off. You put it in there, and it heats it up without combusting it. So you don't get any of the carbon. You don't get any of the benzenes. I mean, there are probably still a few benzenes from like the heating up process and the vapor, which is like the not really healthy stuff for your lungs, but in much, much reduced amounts versus smoking. And I'm talking like magnitudes of degrees less. And especially if you have never smoked before, vaporizing, I think, is really the best way to start. It's just really mild. It's not super intense. It can be if you, you know, really vape it up.
You do.
You can get there if you want. But the point being is, it's really easy to just do a little bit, get the beneficial effects, and then chill and kind of ease your way
And
into
that's
it.
oh,
What? Say that one more time.
that's great on the go too for someone who needs it like a good amount of times and can't bring the actual.
Yeah, that was like the reason I got it is because I was really worried about the smoking aspect of cannabis. That's why I never smoked before. I was always worried about my lungs, and this was a really great alternative to smoking that gave me the same effect. Um, I This is like more pricey. This is on the pricier end. One of these is like $300. I'm just going crazy with my hands today. I almost dropped it again. But there are cheaper ones out there. The Air Riser is another brand that's like half the price. And just Google if you're interested, or feel free to reach out. Olivia, thank you so much for the compliment on the awesome Live to Roll shirt. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for the super chat. All right, I'm talking too much, you guys. I need you. I need to shift the. I need to shift the number.
That's so spicy. Someone asked any strains recommended.
Yeah. What do you guys like?
So I like indicas. I'm not too picky. I don't know if I found a strain that I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much. Just indica. Really, I really like it.
Like the only one I know that I for sure like is OG Kush.
Okay.
Like other ones I'll experiment with, but OG Kush I like.
OG
When I have it, I
Kush.
like it.
There's so many.
Yeah,
Sometimes
there's so many that's like I like to just try out different things, but like the only one I really ever remember is OG Kush because
Yeah, I found like a lot of OG strains are
screenshot
really, really good.
I like OG Kush. OG is one of my favorite. Always has been. Yeah, I'm a Kush guy. OG, just that's my strains. But those are usually the heavier indicas, and that's why I usually like more sedative like high. You know, it really relaxes the body. And for me, that's what I'm looking for, especially because most of the time I'm smoking is the evening, and it's to relax and let my body just wind down. So
I really like Northern Lights. Um, my dad got these seeds of like this original strain. They were like 20-year-old seeds, and he planted them. And it's like a really nice indica, smooth, uh, makes your body feel really relaxed, feel really good. Um, and then for sativas, I like Jack Herrera. It's like one of my favorites, or Blue Dream. They're just like really kind of heady highs, meaning you know, just pretty functional on them, but they help my body feel good. But they don't really like knock me out, zonk me out like a lot of like indicas do. Um, make me a little bit more sleepy. Um, but yeah, those are probably my two favorite strains.
nice. Um, and then we have one other question too from Mikey. Well, what about states that don't have legal? Like if you're in Texas, he's in Texas. So that makes it a little harder for sure. You know, you can still definitely get it, I'm sure, but it just makes it
Oh,
makes it a little
fuck
sketchier.
you. No.
There are a lot of compassionate patient groups, even in non-legal states, that will work to get cannabis to specifically those in medical need. Again, I can't advocate any illicit or illegal activity on the pod. But you can always look for a dealer, find someone that grows weed. Um, now that I know it's tough. It's tough. I don't want to give any advice that like that could be sketchy. Buying from a dealer. Buying from like a
Yeah, that's
non-legal source, and it's hard to trust what you're buying, and know that it's good, healthy, organic, non chemically laced stuff. And those are real things you need to think about and be aware of. Um, that being said, I don't know. I can't imagine it's that hard to find in Texas. Um, but
I,
yeah, definitely look into the
I
Find us.
medical
won't. I can't
the
name any
medical.
specifics, but I do know someone in Texas that gets stuff mailed to them. I mean, from California. So, like, that is probably high. That's highly illegal. I know it's a federal offense, so I can't recommend that in any way. But I just know that I
Allegedly,
do know of
allegedly,
somebody.
you know
I
someone.
allegedly know
Alleg-
somebody that does that. I allegedly
Allegedly.
know somebody that does that.
and I
But also,
allegedly know of someone who lived
have
in
you
Tennessee and had a friend mail them like stuff as well. So if you know someone in Cali that's willing to take a small risk, allegedly. Sorry, Ashley, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying? Or Nikki?
have you all ever heard of like Delta 8 and Delta 9? Because I know Delta 8 is legal in most states, not like maybe not like five. And I think Texas might be one of them that
I
it's
think
legal in, like Delta
I don't know
8.
enough about that, but yes, I did. I do know. I've heard something about that. I don't know. Tom might know more.
I
We're
know a
talking.
website you can follow me from, and the vape
Uh,
pen for Delta 8,
you
and it's
can
legal.
buy
It's all
them.
legal.
You can buy them at like regular smoke shops here in California. Um, and I read about them being sold at smoke shops in states where weed isn't legal. That being said, we're talking about a synthetic form of marijuana, cannabis. When you say Delta 8 or Delta 9, it's like THCA and the cannabidiols or CBDs, but just slightly chemically different. Meaning like some of the carbons or like hydrogens and whatever the chains that make up the actual chemical that makes you high. It's just slightly different. So it's technically not cannabis. It's Delta 8 and Delta 9 synthetic cannabidiols, and they're legal because they're chemically different and federally not under the same blanket as weed. Um, I do not think synthetic marijuana is super good. And I know there are healthy forms of it now, that are like manufactured in laboratories and like legit sources. But I've also heard about like Delta 8, Delta 9 stuff being peddled that is not weed. It's not anything like weed. It's kind of crazy shit that can affect in ways that like I don't even fully understand because it's some chemically lab produced product. It's not grown on a plant. And I'm sorry, but that's where I draw the line. It's kind of the same with opioids and stuff. Like if it's made in a lab and stuff like I'm not sure I want to put in my body. It feels different if it's grown on a plant, and it's like coming from the earth, like a carrot that I eat, like something like that. Like it feels different to me. Um, so I say do your research when it comes to the Delta 8 and Delta 9 stuff. I know there are healthy forms of it. I mean, it's sold in
Yeah.
stores here in California and all over. But I just make sure that you're educated on it. And I'm not educated enough to comment other than my opinion.
Yeah, and Chevy 79 said that they sell them. They sell it all over in smoke shops, gas stations in Texas.
But he
The
also
Delta
said
8.
before that says that they got Cali bud in Texas. So,
Oh no, I know they do have. I know
hit
they
up
have a
your
bunch
boy
of
Joe
Cali bud.
Rogan and be like, hey man, let me get some of that herb.
And shout out to Mikey who had that question. Dropped the super chat. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you, bro.
Mikey Mike,
You guys are awesome.
appreciate you,
Thank you
man.
guys.
And Olivia asked a question: has anyone tried Charlotte's Web, the tincture? I haven't tried the tincture, but I have had the strain, and it was like just a pure CBD thing. Uh, um, that was given to me as like a little promotional thing at a dispensary one time when I went. Um, I used it. Can't say that I felt any kind of different effect from it. But the reason why Charlotte's Web is so famous and what it was really specifically like curated for was for its effect on individuals who suffer from epilepsy, particularly a child, Charlotte. Her family was in the news for giving her kid marijuana essentially, but it was a pure CBD strain of marijuana that eliminated the 100 seizures she was having a day,
Yeah.
and like completely eliminated them, if not completely reduced them to one or two a day, from being a very chronic, debilitating, life-threatening thing, um, and is still used for that purpose for lots of other individuals with the same condition. And really helped bring the medical validity of cannabis to the forefront. It was like one of the big early stories that got in news a while ago. Um, but yeah, I don't know how regularly it is used. The very like common one that I hear about nowadays and have heard about for a long time is RSO, Rick Simpson's
Yep. Rick
oil.
Sampson. Yep.
Yeah, and that is a big cannabis advocate and guy. I don't know the exact details of his history, but I know he's been promoting the medicinal effects of cannabis for 40 or 50 years, maybe even longer. And it's an edible form that's used for a lot of people with really serious pain management needs, and I've known some individuals that have had positive effect from that.
Yeah.
I've
No, that's
tried
a
RSO. I allegedly got it from someone who's a cancer patient, allegedly.
okay.
And
Nice.
because I was like explaining to them my pain, like how much pain I'm in. Because I've described my chronic pain to people before, like someone is putting a knife down my back, just straight down, and occasionally they stab it and they don't give a shit. And then they were like, "Wow, Nicole,
Jesus.
like that hurts." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I feel every day." And then they're like, "You should try this." They told me how to take it because it is strong. They're like, "If you take too much, you won't like it." And the first time I did it, even the little they told me to do, I said that was too much. Like, so it's something definitely like to experiment in. I like to put it in my smoothies, like if I'm having a bad pain day. But I don't do it like all the time. I probably do it like once a month. I still have the stuff allegedly because it is stronger, and it's it definitely works. Like
Yeah,
for
I don't like
I
it.
Ashley doesn't like it. Yeah, it's all inside.
I don't like it personally. It makes me feel sick. So
Really.
And that's what's crazy. Cannabis will make people feel all type of different ways
yeah,
because she does not like it at all. Like she Try
Oh, you guys are cutting out a little bit,
Do we still have it?
but I've actually never tried real RSO oil, to be honest. I've actually.
put it in her smoothie, and she was
Oh, there we go. All right, you guys.
I think you're coming back. We just had a little internet bug flutter in. Um, I'm similar. I do not like edibles that much. I don't know. Like they just make me paranoid and crazy. I mean, they don't make me crazy, but I feel like I might go crazy um, if I just take too strong an edible. Like my dad makes some really awesome cookies that like I can eat one and be chilling. But if I take anything stronger, um, like I just want the high to stop. Like I want to be able to control it. That's why I like smoking versus edibles is you're in for a longer haul. Like I usually don't really like to be high for 8 hours or longer. But and that's what edibles can do to you. Some people really enjoy the long term relief. And especially at night when you're sleeping, that's when it can be hugely beneficial. But I do not like how edibles generally make me feel.
Yeah, dude. I typically like edibles for bedtime. Like I'll do my edibles before I go to bed. That's my the end of my smoking routine is usually eating like a gummy, and I typically do like 50 to like 80 milligrams a night before I go to bed. So like, yeah, not like 5 or 10. So, but if you are
Hey,
starting out, start with
it's
five.
419.
Oh,
419.
I'm gonna grab my bong right now.
We got four. We got 420 in 1 minute. We got a question. Two questions. First of all, what's up, Robert? Thanks for joining us, homie. DC Bud is where it's at. I've heard about that British Columbia Bud, if that's what you're talking about. Um, and no worries about getting off topic, Arrowhead. Uh, any of you recommend a commode chair for traveling? We'll make sure to touch on that question, man. I know it's a little off topic, but it's good info. Never hesitate to ask whatever's on your mind. And Corey, I'm totally with you. Vaping gives you the best of both worlds between smoking and edibles. I'm a big fan of vaporizing. I'm a big proponent of that compared to any other form of consumption.
Yeah, that's what vaping is cool. I don't do much of it, but Tom is a huge
I
fan
want
and
to get a
advocate.
I want to get a volcano. Um,
I actually have a volcano. I've had it for like 10 years. We can use
bro,
it.
why haven't we used it, man?
My bad. Next time, dude. We're breaking it out.
All
And you
right,
know what I
bro.
actually just saw when I was in Vegas last weekend for our rugby tournament. One of the guys from the Reno team had made by Volcano. They actually make a portable handheld vaporizer now. It's actually
Okay.
pretty like big. It almost like the size of a big like a cell phone. It was like wide, like a cell like this, a little
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
thicker
yeah.
even,
Was
but
it
it
called the
packed a
Mighty?
giant bowl and it had two big ass batteries and it lasted like 40 hours of vaping or some shit
Oh
like
wow.
crazy. Like he was like, yeah, dude, it'll go for like weeks. Like I don't ever have to charge it. Like and it
That's
packs. Yeah, it looked cool. But Volcano makes a portable one, just so people know. uh,
cool. All right. Are
all
we?
right.
we
So I,
back.
we back. We back. Nikki and Ashley are back.
Oh, we're good. Oh, I can keep freezing.
Nice.
It was working so
Whatever.
great for the whole show, and you guys are good. The internet is getting better.
Okay.
Yeah. I This company packs they to make like a little cartridge vape, and they like make cartridges similar to the flower vape, and you can control all the settings on your phone. They got like different controls for the different pods you put in there, and it's like really meant to kind of be like a mild uh, way to get high, not get like super zonked. So I'm gonna be using this because everybody laughed at me the last time I smoked the bong on the show and got really really high.
Yeah, I know. That's what I gotta. I'll just make sure to limit. Try not to take too big of a hit
Was
here.
that was that the last show with us two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We were talking.
Man, I
That was
took like
fun.
just one hit off that bong and I was man, I was gone though. I was pretty baked.
Yeah, and I was smart enough to pack this earlier, so I got it packed with like a nice little wax little chunk on top there too. I don't know if you can
Like,
see it or
we
not.
missed 420, but yeah, well, I'll just partake now. If
Yeah,
anybody
it's
else out
okay.
there wants to in the chat wants to join us,
Me and Shy
thanks for
still
watching and participating in the show today. I know we're going a little wild off the rails with the topic, but we appreciate
Th-
you guys
This is
being
what
on.
happens when you leave us alone, Bobby.
Yeah,
we get high. We get high and we don't know what to talk about.
We need our parental figure to keep us in line. All right. If you guys haven't seen me smoke this,
Yeah, I have one more question. For all of us
What's
after
up?
we're done smoking and dying, you know, from baby legs. What are some other ways you guys manage your pain, like besides just? I'm curious.
Let's talk about that why we smoke.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
baby, I like.
um, there's this is a pretty common topic on the show. Pain management. It can be really serious. It can be really, really heavy for some people. Um, I I truly didn't understand chronic pain. Um, not not really until the last year or two until I started really feeling it and feeling it every day and kind of constantly always there. Like that constant companion with you, and it's been tough. And it's definitely caused like a mild decline in my mental health. Not gonna lie. Um, Now, that being said, I've been managing it. I've spoken to several doctors in regards to my pain management to make sure I'm getting like the professional opinions from the people with the medical degrees. Because I don't want to just be like, diagnosing myself and, trying to figure out all out myself because I can't and I shouldn't have to. And, it's important to talk to your doctors and keep them in the loop with your pain and methods of managing it. I was really afraid they were just going to prescribe me like opioids and like tell me to just get over it, but that wasn't their response because I told them how I wanted to kind of try to manage it, which was with like therapy, um, physical, and I'm starting to like see a real therapist for the mental side of it. Um, Make sure get someone to talk to can be super beneficial, and not everybody's. I'm not. I haven't for a long time been super open to the idea of talking to a therapist, but I've talked a lot to family and friends, and I've had close people that I've had the ability to talk to. Um, Make sure you talk about it. Make sure you get it out. If you're just trying to hide it and keep it all stuck inside, I think it can be like anything else, build up and eventually the dam breaks and it's never good when that happens. You gotta let it out, you gotta talk it out. And I felt like that can, help with it sometimes too. Help talk it out to other people, try to help other people understand it, help them understand my situation. Um, and then yeah, surrounding myself with good people. I really don't feel a lot of pain when I'm hanging out with my friends on a Friday night, or hanging out, with my loved ones, and they distract me from it. And sure, sometimes it is there, but especially if I'm out and about, really distracting myself, doing fun activities, and moving my body and doing stuff like that. It's not that it goes away. It's just I'm not paying attention to it for a while, and that can be really great relief for me.
I
yeah.
love everything you said. I love everything you said. I'm dying over here.
um,
But like,
I was
I,
gonna
when I
say,
was listening, I was thinking of myself.
Like, that's what you do too.
Yeah, like it resonated.
Oh,
nice.
I'm glad it
I feel you.
resonated. Yeah, that's I've talked about it to a lot of different people, and you know, and like some professionals, and they say, you know, it's like one of the techniques is, you know, take care of yourself. And there's like, you don't gotta always be with people to be distracting yourself. You know, if you're having a bad pain day, you know, give yourself like a little treat. You know, make sure to get your favorite food. You know, like get something that, you know, will kind of distract you, make you feel good. Put on your favorite TV show. You know, put on your favorite comfy, you know, outfit. You know, like, you know, be lazy in bed for the day or whatever it is. But, you know, really treat yourself and make yourself comfortable too. And I found that you know, there are lots of ways to distract yourself, even if it's people aren't always available, you know, to be a distraction, and you know, you can't always be,
Yeah.
you know, bugging people all the time too. So, how about you, Shawn?
I agree. Distraction helps a lot for sure. One of the other things that does help me with reducing my spasticity and pain is the stretching as well, keeping my body loose and stretching. That's another thing that just kind of eases the tension in my body without smoking. But a lot of it, yeah, is mental. Like if you can keep your mind focused on other things, if you can do, you know, just anything to keep yourself and your mind occupied,
Dive into your
really does help.
hobbies,
Like,
you
yeah,
know, whatever they may
yeah,
be. And work. Corey said it. Work can be a great distraction. You know, like when my mind, you know, when I'm doing my programming thing, or you know, when I'm doing my finance thing, absolutely. Now, for me, working on the computer can exacerbate my pain. So I'm fine while I'm working, but then I get off my computer and I'm working,
you
and
feel it.
I'm
Yeah,
hurting. Um, you know, from using my wrists and you know, holding and typing and hold my hands in funny ways. So that's where you really need to find your balance. And I mean, that's
uh,
life,
Corey
right?
also mentioned water. He said his pain is crazy if he's not hydrated. And I feel like maybe I'm the same too because when I am not drinking much water, like my body just feels way crappier, like in general, like everything. So yeah, I'll
That's
agree with
because
that.
you like start to deal with a lot of inflammation and like negative body stuff when you're not feeding your cells all the water that they need. So make sure you're staying hydrated out there. A lot of us quads end up with like chronic dehydration because for a lot of reasons. I have difficulty just drinking a lot of water, and I intermittent cast, so I'm always trying to balance that with like my daily schedule and making sure, you know, I'm not having to run to the bathroom every hour to, you know, go and cast. But that being said, I need to make sure I'm hydrated, and you know, I'm feeding my body what it needs, because inflammation is one of the greatest causes of pain
Yeah,
in our body.
inflammation is killer.
Um, that's what gets me is, you know, inflammation in like the tendons, you know, that like affects like the nerves in my wrists and my forearms and shoulders and my neck. Um, Stretching, like what Shawn said, is really great for that. I've been doing physical therapy, um, which has been helping me. What do you ladies do to help like your body?
The pain. Um,
I mean,
I stretch
I see your
regularly.
guys' shakes and stuff all the time in the morning. Like that shit's like inspiring me to like get my juice on and get my shake on because you know those nutrients and stuff super important for your body.
Yes, I agree. And then the two, I think that's another thing I do for pain is I notice like when I eat certain things, my pain is different. So
Like, we've cut a lot out of
we've
our
cut a lot
diet.
out. Like we used to love hot chips. After our accident, we tried to eat them a lot, and we were just realizing like it just doesn't agree. Both of us, we and then we talked one day, we're like, wow, you feel the same way. So I think diet, you have to focus on what you're eating. I notice when I drink coffee, I have pain, but I'm not a coffee drinker.
Just occasionally.
Just occasionally, and I notice I'll have pain when I drink coffee. Like, so I think it's important to like pay attention to when your pain
Listen to
acts
your
up.
body.
Even like I noticed like when me and Ashley kind of push it and we go too far on our rolls, like, oh, you're gonna pay for that like the next 3 days. I think it's being like mindful of like kind of what you're doing and just resting too when you need to. Like I rest when I need to. Like I don't beat myself up for just laying down. But I also think stretching helps. Like I stretch every morning and every night. I think it's so important to, and for me too, it helps. I have a lot of pain in my rib cage. So when my rib cage hurts, like it feels good to like stretch, turn in my chair. So like I guess kind of like using the muscle, but the opposite way, like helps with my pain. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do the same thing when I'm feeling the same kind of stuff to like just
Yeah,
pull and
I
twist in the
was trying
opposite
to show
way.
it. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that quad turn, that quad twist. I don't know. But I mean, parents do it too. Everyone with spinal cord injury does. I think it just has to do with like sitting, like chronically, kind of being in this like seated position. The standing frame can be super helpful in that regard. I
Right.
see you guys like
Yes.
use the standing frame
Sorry to give you in
sometimes.
mind again.
That can be super helpful. I used
Um,
to stand all the time
yes.
when I had a place that could fit one, and it was really amazing for my body. I did want to bring up what Olivia said. Olivia, super on point with this comment. The environmental factors. Your environment has a huge effect, and we're all entering winter. These Ashley and Nikki are out here
For the
weathering the
world.
cold for the
I
show,
know.
and probably gonna be suffering a little bit as a result. But the cold can really exacerbate pain, nerve pain, pain in your bones and your tendons, and the achy parts. The barometric pressure shift can have a huge effect on our bodies, and we don't even realize it's happening. But the temperature can really make it hard. Everything gets tight. I get so tight. I'm like always
Yeah.
wrapped up in a
Like,
blanket, always wrapped up in a sweat. Just like you guys are sitting right now.
like,
Like I just get really tied up, and then when I finally relax, my neck's all sore, my shoulders are all sore, my wrists hurt from like being all tense and bent up, and like that is just something to really pay attention to. Heat packs, heat pillows are your friend, like for solutions in that regard. If you feel cold inside, like I have a pillow with some flaxseed in it that I can pop in my microwave, and it's like this pillow of radiant heat I can like snuggle up with. And otherwise, if the sun's shining, like I'm outside in it, soaking it up, um, or sit by the fire, which I don't have a fireplace anymore because I don't live at home. But that used to be my favorite thing to do was just get warm and comfy by the fire. Um,
Girl.
but the cold, I feel you, Chevy. The cold crumbles me too, man. It's super hard. Like
Yes.
it can kill me in the morning. Like if I know it's a cold and rainy day, and I gotta go outside and be busy, and I'm already hurting and having a hard time. Like it can be really, really tough. And I try to be like mentally tough. Like I'll literally like grit my teeth and be like, "Let's go." Think warm thoughts. Like I'll like tense my body up a little bit. I'll try to like brace myself for it. And once I'm out in it, it's usually not as bad, but it can be really tough to face that. And I'm not afraid
so
to.
one thing that happens with me, and I've noticed, I found this out at a rugby tournament when I didn't really have anything to smoke. I brought a vape pen that broke, and then like just was screwed all weekend. My spasms being so much more increased when I'm not smoking elevates my temperature. It makes me not as cold and not like tense up like that. Like it's, oh shoot, I just dropped it, my bong, and spilled bong water all over my floor. Okay, awesome.
Oh,
That's cool. Anyways, um, the bong is fine. It's just
We're live. We're live, everybody. This is
yeah.
real life.
uh, but yeah. So for me, like when smoking, like the relaxation of my muscles cools me a lot down more, and I have to bundle up and stay warmer and use more hot heat packs and stuff. But it also relaxes my pain and help. Like it's like a, I don't know. It's one of those like catch 22s. Like it helps, but then it also like there's it makes me colder. But anyways, I just wanted to touch on that as an effect that smoking affects my body temperature. So
And I can get pretty reckless, like with my legs. I wear shorts all the time, even during winter, and my legs will get really cold, and I won't realize it, and I won't be keeping them warm like the rest of my body. Uh, are you guys good over there?
There was a bug.
Oh, there was a bug. I was like, "What's?" I was like, "Is Nikki and Ashley okay?" Um,
And
what?
then when John dropped the bong, Ashley got her scarf stuck. So we were laughing because while Shawn was struggling, she was struggling.
Hey,
it's the
hey,
quad
Like
struggle.
pulling yourself out.
I'm just glad you guys took the dropping stuff from me because I'm gonna drop anything else. I feel like I passed it on, so we're good to go. I'm just kidding. Um,
Dropping stuff earlier.
My room reeks of bong water now, just so you guys know.
yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. Now you gotta deal with the cleanup afterwards. Hey,
Okay, I'll get it.
these are the real life negative risks and side
Right?
effects of marijuana,
Of
folks.
cannabis.
It's
Yeah, there's usually a little bit of cleanup involved um, at times, but you just gotta stay on top of it. That's why I'm a fan of these like
Stop,
the
you're killing me.
God, I'm making you guys laugh. That's why I like these because they're just it's very easy. It's like disposable. You throw it away. There's no mess. It's just a little USB-C to charge it. I don't have to deal with the water. I don't have to deal with the risk of dropping the glass and breaking stuff because the quad hands are for real. Magic bags. I don't know what magic bags are, but I'm guessing there's some kind of hand warmer.
How do you guys smoke at Quad? Weren't you gonna show?
Oh yeah, we were supposed to show.
I guess
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you want to go check out how some quad smokes, you go check out um, Nikki's Instagram because that shit is professional.
Who
I
Ashley?
know. Yeah, Ashley's
I,
over there with her little torch,
Actually,
like
Nikki, I'm
freaking.
so sorry. Your names are on opposite of where you guys are sitting, so I keep calling you guys the different names, and I'm really sorry, but the marijuana isn't helping. Shawn set me up to fail. I'm blaming Shawn on this one, you guys. I'm really sorry.
Yep.
Uh, that's what happens when we get all high on the show. Is
Right.
Tom.
I'm just
Um,
mixing
but yeah, if
everything
you want to do, I was gonna say Ashley has a bunch of videos smoking on with that little torch, and the way I do it, I use just a regular lighter here. And if I was to smoke a joint, I'll light it like this. But if I'm gonna light my little, I do it underhanded to light my little beeline torch. And then once I light this thing, I have just like a rope on it or a fire on, the end of my wick. And I can do whatever with it. That's how I do it.
Right that I right that I kept burning myself with the wig, so I got scared.
I have burnt myself a
So
few
I got
times.
this.
I'm not. That works. Whatever
No, that
you
thing
can
is
figure
super
out.
badass. I've seen you use it, and it looks so crazy.
Uh, oh yeah, I think we had a few things from the chat too. I wanted to get at.
Yeah,
Lee
Mikey
asked.
might
She had
call
a.
me out here. Tom's high. Lol. Yeah, I know. I always get so baked on this show whenever we smoke weed. Um, we got a question for Nikki and Ashley. Do you ladies smoke for pain? We did talk about this earlier,
Absolutely.
but you guys can answer again.
Yeah, we yes, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Face of Spade
Thank you,
asks, when
Mike.
is the next stoner adventure of Shawn and Tom gonna come out? I don't know.
Sometimes.
We might try to get a little one in tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm going out of town this weekend, and me and Shawn will have some birthdays celebrating to make up for, and we'll definitely do a little quad adventure
And
video.
I wish I could have worked out coming to Vegas for your birthday with you, man. But I was just there, literally last weekend.
It's all good. Hey, I'll try to record some video to post on the channel. I'm going to be going to a reggae festival in Vegas. Yeah, going to Reggae Rise Up in Las Vegas with my fam for a couple days. So we're going to be definitely chiefing some high quality cannabis and listening to some really awesome reggae music and vibing out for the weekend. But I'll try to shoot some video. Maybe we'll make a little something something.
Yeah, dude, that would be
We'll
cool.
see.
It is
And
Nice.
then,
gonna be fun.
Afro man. You're gonna make me start singing, Olivia. Nobody wants that.
uh,
He goes like,
yeah, Bass of Spades says he doesn't like to smoke anymore now. Makes him paranoid. But that's what it
I
affects everybody different. That's the
I
thing.
still get paranoid sometimes when I
I
smoke
get
in public, especially like if I gotta be around a lot of people. Um, it can like sometimes not so much anymore, but sometimes kind of just depends on my mental state. If I've got a lot of anxiety or dealing with some stuff, it can definitely exacerbate that. So got to be super mindful. I can't believe how dark it's
yeah,
getting for you guys
I
over
get
in Chicago.
Right?
It's crazy.
you guys have
Yeah,
seen you guys have
sun's
seen
already
the
down for you
sunset
guys.
live.
Well, that's cool. Real quick, let's get. We have a couple other
Yeah,
questions. Steven asked, for pain, do we prefer smoking or edibles? And I would say I prefer smoking because it's more instant relief just over like body. But I don't know you guys.
Yeah,
damn.
is that your consensus, Nikki and Ashley? You guys agree?
Yeah,
Mine's,
I
mine's
prefer
flower.
dabbing. Oh,
Mine's flower.
Ashley, he likes her bong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
helps with
think
the pain,
smoke.
like Shawn said, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think it offers a level of control too over the high. Smoking versus edibles. The hard thing about edibles is, I mean, if you know what you're in for the next 8 hours and you're just going to veg out, I'd say maybe go for that. But that's my big problem with edibles is usually I don't like to be high or wake up feeling high. So I think like
May-
smoking, I can be sober in an hour if I want to. Like I just stop
Maybe that's
smoking.
why I don't necessarily smoke in the morning, is because I'm still a little high from my edibles I ate before bed. Because I do like that's a possibility.
Dude, Mikey Mike just totally got me with that
Uh,
comment. Oh my god, he was like, "So who's that behind you with the mask?" I'm like, "Is there someone behind me?"
I said
Not
what?
cool,
uh,
man. Not cool. You're over here messing with me,
Ashley
bro.
was like,
and
what?
and Bass of Spades is talking a little shit, saying to make sure you bring the chargers for the camera, because me and Tom for like all our batteries died on that last vlog. But yeah.
No, no. We got another question from Candace Stark. Are you related to Tony Stark? Have y'all heard of a Puffco Peak Pro? I
Whoops.
have. I have another buddy named Shawn, not this Shawn, that has a Puffco. And it's cool. It's expensive, but you just said it. It's an easy and safe way to dab. Like you load the
I like
oil or the wax into it, and it just slowly heats it up. And there's no like hot stuff. There's no torches or nothing like that. You can do really low temperature dabs. So if you like the oil compared to the flour, it's a really great way to have it easy on your chest by doing like the really low temperature dabs. But the Puffco is like $400, so
Yeah, it's expensive. They
whatever
make
you're
a
thinking
cheaper
for.
couple off-brand ones that are very similar. But yeah, they are really cool products,
And
especially for on
you
the
just said
go.
it. Dabs give me hella zonked. I'm with it, bro. Me
Yeah.
too. I can't be doing that. Hey Ryan, sorry, nobody's crunching a bottle. It's just the internet
static.
breaking up and crackling the audio a little bit. It should hopefully not remain. But sorry about that. And hey, Ben, he's off work, dude. He just made it.
Hey, where's the
Smoke time.
Ben
Huh.
Tipton.
Ben, you
The
there,
Tipton.
dude? Um, really happy you're able to join us. Anybody that balance high with CBD, absolutely. Um, there's a lot of like well balanced THC CBD strains that have like kind of equal amount or 80/20, 60/40 CBD THC. Uh, Best thing is if you have the option is to go to a dispensary and speak to the bud tender. They're usually super knowledgeable in regard to a lot of this stuff, and he can just tell you what's available for you locally and in that shop, and they're usually super knowledgeable about that. But the place where I use the CBD THC balance and always make sure that it's there is with topicals. So like I do use like some topical like lotion um, on my wrists to help me with like my inflammation and like the pain in my wrists, especially after working on the computer for a long time. And I make sure there's like a good ratio of CBD and THC because it seems to have a better effect.
Yeah,
Follow my chat, yeah.
I've actually read in a few places that for CBD to have like its full effect, you need a very trace amount of THC, even if it's like, just 1 milligram to like the 100 milligram CBD. It just helps activate it in your body better. But yeah, I don't know. I've also and one of the, there's I put some links in the description. One of them has an article where there is like a study that there's a 1-to-1 50/50 CBD THC that was like approved for like chronic pain. Like it's actually legit. Like that's one of the things that's like cleared. Like I don't know. Check out the articles. They're cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's working on like federal approval for legal states,
Yeah.
like FDA approval um,
Yeah.
for states that have like recreational legal cannabis. But actually, use in the medical setting, like use in hospitals and stuff, it's really like the medical forefront of cannabis is like arrived because a lot of states have had the freedom to explore and test without fear of like the feds coming down on them. Um, nice. That there you guys go. Hey, kind of like getting a little haunted, like Halloween effect with the shadows. Looks kind of cool. Huh. I can't believe Olivia said "pass the duchy." That's so awesome.
And on
Uh,
today's story,
Oh, man, I'm dying over here.
all right, yeah, Nikki and Ashley are gonna start telling horror stories. Nice.
Um,
uh,
Now, one thing we didn't really talk about, which y'all know, like we are past 4:30, but we're just having fun doing a smoke out. But well, I guess we did touch on it. Marijuana is an appetite stimulant, which can be beneficial for a lot of quads specifically. I don't know, like I know longer into my injury, my digestion process is slowed. I don't. I eat like one meal a day, but even sometimes I got to put that down and come back to it. And I mean, I do granola bar. I try to do my yogurts and do like healthy intake outside, but I'll try. Like I usually do one main meal a day, like afternoon, early evening. Um, but sometimes that can be a struggle. Even getting through that, and I've been losing a lot of weight recently. Too much weight. It's been affecting my bony butt and my bony body. And I've been trying to navigate that. Marijuana is great for stimulating an appetite. Giving you the munchies is kind of what it's like typically referred to. But for individuals like cancer patients going through chemotherapy, it's been very commonly used as an appetite stimulant. Um, but I did just want to touch on that for two reasons. One, it can be beneficial for some people, and it can also be a negative side effect for other people. And the best way, if you do use cannabis but don't like the munchies, make sure you have healthy snacks around. You gotta,
Um,
have like sunflower seeds and fruit and, like carrots and, stuff that you can munch on, but it's not like potato chips and, like French fries and fatty foods, because you'll just
yeah.
eat all the chocolate in the world and not even realize it.
Uh, no, yeah. So for me, my skinny ass, like I
Not gonna
don't have
happen
a great
to you.
appetite. So like I actually really benefit from the munchie effect personally because like I really don't have much of an appetite to eat. Like my body will get to a point where I like crash like completely. I have no energy, no like I'm completely done. And then I'm like, "Oh, I need to eat." Like if I'm not smoking. So like that's one of the things that it really helps with, but
Yeah, that's called hypoglycemia. It's a hypoglycemic reaction where you don't feed your body enough energy and you like fall off a blood sugar cliff. Shawn,
that happens often. Yeah. Yeah.
no, I get hypoglycemic as well, and that's I combat it with yogurts that usually contain between like I make sure they have like at least 10 milligrams of sugar in it, or 10 grams of sugar. That kind of sounds like a lot, but that's like give me like a quick sugar boost when I need it. And I'll do like yogurt with a granola bar. Fiber One is really great. I like the fiber for my gut health, and also it tastes good. It's got some sugar in it that can help give me that boost that I need when I start to feel like I'm falling off that cliff and getting really low. Um, and yeah, I mean, I thankfully I get the munchies sometimes, but I don't really struggle with the munchies too much. Like I can smoke and not feel the urge to eat um, at all. So I don't know. I think kind of depends on some people, but it also depends on the strain of weed. Like I'll smoke weed and all of a
That's
sudden be
true.
like, "Dang, now I really got the munchies." How has that been for you
I know,
guys? How do
same.
you handle your munchies, Ashley and Nikki?
Like I'm hungry right now, but
Yeah, I'm getting it because this is already about time when I ate and I smoked already. Like it's affecting me already.
it's like
Yeah, and
so.
then for me, like honestly, like today I didn't smoke when I woke up, and I really have eaten. And now that we smoke, this was like my first time smoking all day, and now I'm actually hungry.
Uh,
So it really affects my appetite, and I notice it when I don't smoke versus when I do.
Yeah,
yeah.
me and Ashley are similar like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like there are days where I don't smoke, and your boys still be getting pretty hungry. So I don't think it really affects my appetite that much. Like I still have a pretty decent appetite without it. Um, I don't like feel the urge like to like smoke before every meal or anything like that. But
Yeah.
uh,
I think it's important to say, as spinal cord injury people, we should keep healthy munchies around and a little bit of the other stuff because it will catch up to you. Like I noticed a difference from last summer. I was eating like shit. This summer, I try to keep healthy snacks because I have the munchies all the time, and it definitely helped. Just putting that out there for spinal cord injury people. You don't want to have to get a new chair and stuff.
make sure your snacks
Good
are
point.
That's
accessible and within
Yeah.
reach. Before you go and get comfy.
yeah.
There's nothing worse than like transferring into bed, getting back to being like, oh my god, I got the munchies so bad, but I don't want to transfer and go get a snack. How we got a question. How long have you four been injured? I've been injured for 24 years. Uh, yeah.
I'm almost 18, 17. Yeah, January will be 18 years,
I'm,
and you guys are newbies.
For 2.5 years. 2.5.
two, two
Yeah,
and
it
a
was
half
2.5
years.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I just had my anniversary on the 29th of August, and be turning 29 on Friday. So I've been injured for most of my life. I was almost was 5 when I got hurt, um, but I was technically 4 when I was injured. But yeah, living the living the life for a while. I always think it's amazing seeing individuals like Nikki and Ashley, like recovered so much and bounced back so quickly. Um, and like are such positive examples of, like amazing recovery. Getting used to the life and accepting and moving on. I mean, like you guys talk about the struggles all the time, and we feel the struggles all the time, but like you embrace that shit and like you share it with the world and like help other people cope and go through the same stuff. So it's really cool, and I really appreciate you guys being such positive examples and
The
being
part
on
where
here
Tom
today.
makes me cry.
Uh, no, no tears, only
He does
happy ones.
every
But it's yeah, it's really amazing and like cool, inspiring to see for sure. We appreciate you guys being on the pod with us today. You're always such an awesome guest. Amazing
Thank you
supporters of
for
the
having
show.
us. We love talking. Yeah, we
Absolutely.
love talking. We love the
And
liberal film.
You
and
guys are the
Shawn,
Live to Roll fan.
our illustrious creator, purveyor, producer of the show, the man behind all the magic and the madness. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing all that you do to put this together every week, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. I appreciate this week was like kind of last minute, and I appreciate you guys coming on with us, Ashley and Nikki, because
Thanks for
I've been
having us.
busy.
Thanks for dealing
I'm
with
gonna Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna have to shout out what I've been busy with is getting all these awesome women's shirts here posted up on the website. So they are available on the website now. You can get them for purchase, uh, and you can see Ashley and Nikki are lovely models for a couple of them too. So.
Yeah, so
our
go
model
and select
debut.
that merch.
Yeah, our model debuts.
It's hot off the
Make it on
presses.
the stage. Remember, live to roll. It's got my career started.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
Chevy, you make your 1 year in November. C5,
Oh, wow.
C7. Thankful for people like y'all. Dude, we're thankful for you, man. Thanks for joining us on the reg, and hope these shows are helpful to you, man. And if there's anything specific that you want us to talk about, or you just want to reach out, bro, never hesitate. and
And Lee says the ladies are the bomb examples, quick recovery, and that is only recently been possible. So you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
yo, Corey, our boy from the BC, British Columbia, the Great White North, dude. Appreciate you joining us from Canada. Um, you are awesome. You had some really great questions today, and
Yeah.
really appreciate you,
So-
Corey. And Olivia, um, awesome friend, friend in real life, friend of the pod. Thank you for joining us too, and your
That was
very,
poppy.
very awesome commentary. Mikey Mike, 28 years from the 16th of this month. Awesome, man. You're right along there with us, homie. Appreciate you being here too, dog, and everything that you shared with us, dude. And yeah, we are going to run to everybody. Is there anything else you want to say,
Yeah.
Shawn? I just feel bad for
Uh,
Nikki and Ashley. I want to make sure they get inside,
Yeah.
not stuck out
Yeah,
in
no,
that
they're
cold.
freezing. Yeah, no, that's cool. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for, like I said, thank you guys for being on here. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week. I think Brianna's off next week. She has, I'm not sure, something else scheduled. So the women's shows I think are going to be the second and the third Thursday this month. But they
Shawn,
will
Shawn and
be.
I both have been crazy busy, but we got some good shows coming up. We got some cool topics, and we're gonna have some awesome guests coming your guys' way very, very soon in the coming weeks. So I appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Live to roll and subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff.
Yeah.